Other interesting cultural news, you have CNN crying and dying over the Supreme Court's 9-0 decision to allow Trump to be on all 50 ballots for the presidential election. Now, one of the first people to report on this was Colin Rugg over on X Twitter. And let's see here. It's not too long of a clip, so it's only about 44 seconds long. Now, before the clip, he says, quote, new, CNN is having a pouting session over the Supreme Court's ruling in favor of Trump, saying it's very, quote, unfortunate for America. Good day for America, bad day for propagandists. And then he says, one of their quotes, look, unfortunately for America, the court isn't necessarily wrong that this is the way the framers wanted it to be, womp womp, unquote. And without further ado, now, I don't want to give CNN too much credit, but they deserve a modicum of credit only because the men on the show at least suit up, as all men should always, by default, obviously. So they do very, very little right at CNN, but they did suit up, so they did something right. And without further ado, this is a warning for your ears. It may cause your ears to bleed. Just a little disclaimer there, but we'll play a little bit by CNN.
Look, unfortunately for America, the court isn't necessarily wrong that this is the way the framers wanted it to be. They wanted Congress, the people who are closest to their constituents, to be able to make the rules and the laws. That doesn't change the fact that because of gerrymandering in the House and all kinds of other issues, they're not doing their job on a lot of these big issues.
Yeah. I agree. It's very unlikely, close to impossible that Congress will take action. But this is now a fair question that Manu Raju, Melanie Zanona should be asking members of Congress. Mm-hmm. Are you willing to pass legislation that would give us rules for how this works? It could only be in the future, by the way.
Kind of the cliche, if we don't win, we have to change the rules. We see this more and more as a theme. Now, I suspect overwhelmingly most people will be roasting, CNN viscerally in the comments because, again, I'm sure they do have an audience, to be sure. Perhaps on par to how many people tune into my show. It's gotten that bad for CNN's ratings. But nevertheless, let's dive in and see what the folks are saying in the comment section. You have Lenka Hauska White saying, quote, wonder what CNN will do after Trump becomes president. Will they be stuck on January 6th, unquote, getting 789 likes? Colin Rugg did respond saying, quote, their ratings will definitely go up. They've probably all been secretly hoping he wins, unquote, getting 705 likes, which, again, you look at how much their viewership dropped after Trump lost. It was a lot. I mean, CNN, more than other companies, most media companies are having layoffs, but even they had astronomical more layoffs than the competition. Because, again, Trump is a media machine. There's so much that they were working with or taking from him in terms of content. They're building content just based on his tweets alone. And everyone's tuning in because it was interesting. So ironically, CNN made a lot of money covering Trump. Now, scrolling down more and more, we have A Music saying, quote, do you agree with Rand Paul? And Rand Paul says, quote, we should never forget the Constitution wasn't written to restrain citizens' behavior. It was written to restrain the government's behavior, unquote, getting 984 likes, which is very true. And I wish more Americans actually knew that and realized that. Now, granted, most Americans also go to public school, and if it's a government-funded school, there's not much incentive for them to teach people, oh, yeah, those rules are actually meant to limit our power, not yours. Yeah, public schools. 32-year low ACD scores, and yet the unions say they deserve more money. Right. Now, scrolling down, we also have Libergat Media TM saying let the fireworks begin, and there's a bunch of missiles being shot with all the Karens, their faces on it, and this, of course, the cliche gal where when Trump won the election in 2016, this alleged adult woman with short hair and glasses and a beanie and the yellow, like a construction worker vest? F minus her marketing and apparel, obviously. But she broke down and cried on her knees because her person lost an election. Now, that got 373 likes. Guidance6 says, quote, how could a unified Supreme Court ever be bad for America? It means that they all agree on the critical aspect of constitutional law. It was a great day for America. I'm getting 587 likes, which, yes, is very true. Let me know. I'm actually curious. Let me look on the internet. See here. When was the last time the Supreme Court ruled 9-0? Supreme Court ruled 9-0. It's so rare. Let me see here. Let's see here. When was the last one? Let's see. You always contrast. A lot of contradictory data. I'll have to dive into that a little bit later. But yeah, 9-0. Even the most leftist Supreme Court judge, I mean, Sotomayor, even she voted in favor of allowing Trump to have the opportunity to run for presidential office. Even Ketanji Jackson Brown, I mean, she literally, is that her full name? I'm not attempting to be disrespectful. There's some of these names that elude me. Ketanji Jackson Supreme Court. Is that? Oh no, I was like a kanji. It eluded me at the moment the exact pronunciation. But even she, who claims to not know what a biological woman is, when they were asking her questions to have her get nominated as Supreme Court, she said she wasn't a biologist, so she can't possibly know. Even she ruled in favor of Trump's ability to run for presidential office, and it was not an insurrection. Now, Joshua Walker also chimed in saying, quote, "The oceans of liberal tears being filled today is glorious. These commies just can't handle losing," unquote, getting 167 likes. And, yep, overwhelming positive responses. But we will cover some contrarian tweets in a New York Minute here or two. So let me know in the comments, do you think this is are you kind of surprised or pleasantly surprised? Are you upset? As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up and thumbs down or a comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight,